Hello, welcome back to another video in our voting video series. Today we're going to talk about where you can find information about the candidates and the measures that might show up on your ballot during the next election. So the first thing we're going to talk about is where and ways that you can learn about candidates. First way that you can find more about candidates is on these ballot lookup tools. So I've listed four here on the screen: Ballot Ready, Rock the Vote, 411, and Ballotpedia. These are websites that you can type into your Google search bar, and what you'll end up doing on each of these platforms is entering in the address in which you are registered to vote. And from there, you will get a printout, a display of what's actually on your ballot for the upcoming election. From here, on most of these platforms that I mentioned, you'll be able to actually click on the information about the candidate, learn a little bit more about them, see what their platform has to say. The second way that you can learn more about candidates that are appearing on your ballot is by actually going to their campaign website. So here on the screen, you see two website screenshots from the upcoming presidential election. And on every campaign website, you're going to find out what does that candidate stand for, what's on their platform. So you might have to do a little bit digging. Sometimes it's labeled differently depending on the candidate or what position they're seeking in terms of like their office, but you will be able to find the information on their website as to what things they're hoping to accomplish once they are elected to that office. Another thing to keep in mind is that you might encounter a ballot measure when you go to vote. And these are really things that a state or sometimes a more local municipality community will be voting on that will be passed into law. So this is a way that you can find out more about those type of ballot measures is through Ballotpedia. This is again a website. You type in your address and it gives you information based on that address in terms of what ballots are coming up. So on the screen you can see information about what would have been on the New York State 2020 ballot on November 3rd. However, that ballot measure, as it states here, has been actually withdrawn. But from here you would be able to read what does saying yes to this ballot measure mean, and what does saying no to this ballot measure mean? Since really when you get to the polls on election day, if you're voting on a ballot measure, you're only going to have the option of yes or no. And sometimes those things mean different things depending on how the ballot measure is actually worded. So this is a really great website to kind of understand, if I vote yes, what will it mean? And if I vote no, what will that mean? So Ballotpedia is a really great resource for understanding ballot measures a little bit better. As always, we have multiple resources on our Civic and Community Engagement Office's website under our voter registration tab. You can use the bit.ly that's showing here on the screen in order to get directly to that website. You can also email or call our office if you have questions about voting, voter education, or how to actually get to the polls. And thanks so much for joining us.